All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're well today. Real nice to have you here. If you are looking to lose weight, if you're looking to get in a great mindset to start the week and move in a healthy direction for the week, hopefully you found yourself in the right place. That's going to be my goal. Try to move in that direction, both personally. I'm a big health advocate personally, try to be healthy and help you if you're heading in that direction today. So grab a coffee and or a tea or whatever your calorie-free beverage of choice is, and we'll dive in on a little fasting space today. Got some nice chill music to set the tone for the week. So I had a little vacation the last week, which was great, and thinking a lot about mindset on the vacation. So I had a pretty active vacation, did a lot of biking, and I was thinking maybe post, if you're here, say hi in the chat, or say hi if you're coming through on the replay. What's a win that you had for the week? Like, try to reflect, say, maybe it was a difficult week, and you say, man, just making it through the week is the win. So wherever you're at. Biking for me, though, I think was the big win. Tons of biking. I did the live show from the road last week, which was interesting. Brought my whole setup on the road. Check out that session if you missed it. Losing weight on vacation. Have a weight loss focused enjoyment vacation. I think was an enjoyable session for me to do. I did a big long bike ride, and it was the first big ride I did of the week, and I didn't train a ton for it, and so I got somewhere toward the end, and we stopped at a little restaurant, and I haven't had a soda in years because I spend all my time, telling people about eating healthy, don't drink a soda. I said, if I'm riding like 50 miles, I will, maybe this is the time for it. A bunch of sugar, maybe it'll give me some energy. And it maybe did for like 5 minutes, but then I just felt sick, to be honest. I'm like, oh, that is not a healthy thing. I can't imagine wanting to do that again. So that's a win for me too for the week, is just reset my soda experience and just remind people like, this is not good for the body, okay? Do you have a goal for the next week? If you're moving toward weight loss, 3 primary natural ways to do it. Moving the body in healthy ways, getting good exercise, choosing the healthiest foods, and then dialing in on a fasting space. That's what we're up to here. Fasting space, the most direct way to lose weight. To me, the most powerful, the most neglected in our society. I think because our culture is always focused on consuming, such a consumption culture, we overlook fasting. We overlook the simple elegance, the beauty of it. And this is where I tell people to start a lot of times. If you're trying to move into a thoughtful weight loss space, is just realize, okay, what's happening in the body here? Body stored this extra energy for us so that we have energy to use. And a lot of times we're angry about it. You say, I don't want that. But it has a function. There's a function for it. And when we open up the space, fasting is open space. We allow the process that the body's going through to kind of complete the cycle. We let the body use the energy. It's trying to help us. If you ever feel in the space, you're angry at the body. Body is not doing what I want. Okay, but body is trying to help you. Body tries to help us. And then it's a cycle. We can help the body by giving it space. We did a session a couple weeks ago, is obesity a disease, right? I loved that session. I loved working through that. Historically, I've believed that because that's, what I was taught in medical school, and that's the prevailing medical paradigm. But increasingly, I tried to be somewhat balanced in that session. Increasingly, I've sided on the side that it isn't, and that this push toward labeling people as diseased isn't kind, thoughtful, or helpful. And as I've sat with that over the last couple weeks, I really do feel that way. Oh, I started talking. I was going to say goal for the week. Do you have a goal for the week? A good way to set out. Yeah, I was saying, okay, fasting might be part of that goal. Fasting not the only way to lose weight, but many times it's the simplest path. That's right. I was saying, okay, our culture doesn't always appreciate it because we're in kind of this consumption zone. But when you start to realize, okay, here's how the body is functioning, and the body's trying to help me, and I can help the body, we can work together, right? Really, we are our body, right? We think mind, body, but we're not separate things. We're just one solid together mind-body entity, but it kind of feels sometimes like we can be disconnected from the body. We can help the body, our thinking selves, by making the conscious decision to say, you know what? I'm going to give a gift to my body, this beautiful open space, and I'm going to let the body mobilize and use that energy. And then that's how we can get rid of it. So if you're looking to lean into that path, let me know if you have questions about it. I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people to practice fasting and lose a significant amount of weight. And we will see if we can craft this experience, the live show, into something really helpful. Let me know if you have ideas or ways that it could be more helpful to you specifically. I want this to be a viewer show, I am the host of this space, and I envision people coming in and using it as a place to connect, share experiences, ask questions, and have a dialogue. And maybe there are ways to do that I have not yet appreciated, and I'd be happy to hear what would you like it to be like. But as I was thinking this week, so I was out on the bike ride, one of the bike rides we were on, we stopped for lunch, and we're sitting in a restaurant, and this family is next to us in the restaurant. And, I do a lot of meta thinking myself because I'm like, well, I'm a kind of a weight and diabetes specialist. I spend my time consulting with people about how to help them lose weight and get their blood sugar better. And so sometimes I go into this kind of analytical sort of doctor mode where, I'm sitting there in my own thoughts, it feels kind of judgy, but I'm estimating what is people's blood sugar right now, I watch what they're eating, and this family next to me, the whole family was very, very overweight, including the kids. And I was just thinking about, I'm watching these kids drinking the sodas and eating this food, and I'm like, I wanted to go hand them a business card, but I don't think how offensive it would be. I don't want to. So I just sit there and keep my thoughts to myself. but all the tables really close, so I can hear the conversation. I'm trying not to listen. But the older kid looked like they were in high school. They were talking about their health class, where they were saying that obesity is genetic, and they were teaching them this in their high school class. The health teacher. And then the mom was like saying how, like, well, that made them feel better. The kid was like, yeah, it's like there's like 10 or 15 pounds that you can kind of control, and the rest is like set. That's what they were saying. And I just wanted to stop in the restaurant and be like, that is just not true. Like, it's just not true. But I don't know. So it was giving me a lot to reflect on the bike ride about like just the culture and the space that we're in, and education, like how are we educating ourselves and the next generation, and what do people really think, and what is really true. And how, it was just interesting to hear their reflection. Like, oh, this information makes me feel better, is something I really spent a lot of time. On the front end, you say, don't we want to create an environment? Don't we want to help people feel better? Well, of course you don't want to make people feel bad. I certainly don't. But I do want people to be healthy, okay? And I do want people to be empowered with really helpful, thoughtful, true information that helps people accomplish a health goal that they want, or just a personal goal, whether it's, for health reasons or any reason, to help people understand how the body works so that they can get a result that they want. That's where we went in that session the other day. Is obesity a disease? I think that this whole thing, because it's permeated medicine in this pharmaceutical paradigm, like I feel like just in this experience that I had in the restaurant, with these kids are not growing up in an environment that is teaching them that they have real agency, like your choices matter in this world, and there are actual choices that you can make that really significantly impact quality of life and the longevity and the chance that you develop different diseases and things like this. I'm watching the people drinking the soda as is the day after I did the soda I drank, where I felt so bad. I've talked to a few people about this. So, like, you think about building up a tolerance to alcohol. You don't really think about building up a tolerance to soda, but I guess you can. Because, so much sugar. So, what I wanted to show people, the perspective I've had having worked with so many people who have used natural practices to lose weight. This is one of the visions that I want for this channel, is to be able to share experiences with people, because people can't really see it. And unless you know someone who's done it. Unless you find, online, you find somewhere where people sharing their experience. And I think there's so much value in it, because the way our medical system is constructed, there's not a lot of community in it. Everything is isolated in these tiny little sections. And then you have to pay for every little experience that you have. And then everything, because it is medicalized, it gets locked up in an electronic record. You can't talk about it. Got hundreds and hundreds of patients from the university when I was working there that I followed for years and years and years, over a decade. And people always say, oh, these are your patients, but really they're the system's patients, because the second that I leave, you say, well, then they're cut off and not really my patients. So many stories, I can tell stories about it. Be nice to have a scenario in the future where we have, just more storytelling about people's experience, either good or bad. I mean, I don't even mind bad bad stories. But, like, the reality is that people struggle a lot to lose weight. And, I'm very happy to have people share struggles and difficulties. That's real. Been thinking a lot about the live experience. I've had some people say, why do the live when you could just like put the same thoughts on a video? And like part of what I've been thinking about, I don't know, what has your observation been lately? Everybody is just AI crazy lately. And I'm not one of those people. I think that, I'm not opposed to technology. I'm not opposed to advancing anything. But like a live format to me is just it's just real, it's nothing is edited, nothing is fake. And this is the sort of attitude and mindset that I want about the whole channel and the whole process of weight loss, whether through fasting, healthy eating, exercising, all these natural sort of things. It's just the reality. Nothing, sugar coated or anything like that. So to me, the live has felt that way. Just like a real space. And especially too, like fasting is like, it's passing time. And it's like, pass the time comfortably without food. Like you can't really rush it, you can't rush time. Why would you want to anyway? Like we only have so much of it. And we have only so much time. We want to pass through that time in a comfortable space. I'm kind of thinking out loud with you. Like a live session, it kind of is, it just fits to me what we're trying to do. Get a lot of people doing it together, I think is what would really be fun. I was in Door County this week, so we did a lot of biking, and then in the evening it was Door County Jazz Fest, so they had bands, jazz bands and stuff playing. Went to a bunch of concerts. That was the same thing, the observation, just like at the restaurant, I was like, man, like so many people, like you look at a cross section of America here, everybody coming out to the concert. I was like, I want you all to tune into my show, and I want to just be able to tell everybody, like, hey, don't stress out, don't feel bad, but like, let's walk together toward a healthier place. It's like I pictured myself walking through the audience handing out simple fasting business cards. It's like I'd probably get booed out of the place. So I sat and enjoyed the show and had a beautiful evening. But the thing I thought, okay, sometimes I've gone on Reddit. There's a fasting forum on Reddit. And I thought, well, this stuff is online. Why don't I just, share a picture of, some of this stuff? So here is something to share with you. This guy's posting online. So I've seen a lot of, I've worked with a lot of people like this. This gentleman, acrobatic worker, started doing intermittent fasting or fasting-based program 11 months ago. I'm posting this yesterday. At 350 pounds, and then over 11 months, they lost 110 pounds, and now they're down to 240 pounds. And then they're still working on it. And they post here that they're doing 16-8 a lot of times, and then they'll add in 24 and a few 48-hour fasts here and there. And you say, well, this is an anecdotal thing. I hear someone say it's like one person's thing, and who knows what the, what the experience is exactly. They comment in a post below that. As far as dietary changes, what exactly were they eating? What were they doing? They said they cut out alcohol, something I highly encourage people to do. They cut out dairy, and they focus mainly on a low-carb, high-protein diet. So this is exactly the sort of thing that I encourage people to do, no doubt. And this is what I wanted to show people in the restaurant, you know? I wanted to say, like, hey, look, like, this is actually the type of thing that's possible. I've seen this a lot of times, and I'll tell you, I want to see it like a million more times, you know? I want to. That's what I felt like at the university. I was like, you know, helping 30, 40 people do this felt great, is good. But I was like, you know, we need 30 or 40 million people experiencing it. And so, like, what is the path to help open this up and expand it? I think I don't really know, but this is my best effort to do it. Just broadcast it, you know, and talk about it, have a conversation. I think about like the version on the left 11 months ago, like if you had gone to this gentleman at that time and said, hey, you know what? Obesity is a disease. Okay, you can't cure it and you can't do anything about it. And maybe 10 or 15 pounds you can do it, but that's about it, you know? And then you might need a surgery, or you might need drugs, or you might need something. And but this person didn't do that. This person used fasting and some exercise and healthy diet. They did all the things, you know, and they're having an incredible result from it. I'll probably go post this show on the thing and say hi and say, do you want to come in on the show and share your experience and just talk about what it's been like and how do you feel exactly? And, you know, I'd love that. I think we should have a way to do that. You know, people okay, you know, sharing their stuff online. Maybe they would like to come on a video and chat about it more. I think it would be helpful. Yeah, so it's clear to me, at least so many times like that, clearly, you know, making different food choices, opening up fasting space, getting active. This has got to be the foundation. To me, it's like the foundation of the whole medical system, really, because so much of the trouble that we're having is downstream of that. And I want conversations like that. Like, look what's possible. Like, I think people just don't know. People don't know. Most people see just that people consistently gain weight, and it's just taken for granted now in our society. So, like, more of that, I think, of showing people, hey, this is not inevitable. People can change, and that you can control this situation, I think really could be helpful. Let me know what you think. I've got resources on simplefasting.com. I put a new kind of workflow through there, lose weight for free, where I step through the process and the basic steps with fasting if you're many people eating, you know, if you include meals and snacks 5-6 times a day, start walking that down 5, 4, 3. That's opening up more space without food, more space where the hormonal signals in the body can say, hey, you know what? Let's fill in the gaps with some of this energy storage. Stepping it down to 2, that's like a powerful move. And then people will have different results at that point. Some people losing a lot of weight, getting down to 2 meals in a day. Other people say, hey, that kind of stabilizes the situation. Most people can feel pretty comfortable at that place. And then from there, you can work on it. Can you train yourself if needed, only if desired? Eating 1 meal in a day. Could be on any kind of frequency, once a week, every other day, every day, most days, whatever works. You make a change, you move toward it, you see the experience, you see how you feel. You balance always the intensity of this experience with your emotional state, Always moving in the direction of a fasting space should feel like openness and reducing stress, should feel like calm, positive, thoughtful space. If ever you're not feeling that way, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm just too hungry, this is unpleasant, I feel unwell, I never tell people to push through that. There's like the middle ground where if you have the mindset to do it, where you say, oh, this is difficult, you say, well, people can do difficult things, and I'm up for a challenge. That's a fine mindset to push through. Most people's experience is that a hunger experience lasts 60 to 90 minutes because it's controlled by hormones in the body. Hormone comes out, ghrelin, and goes away again. And as people experience that, like a wave, you come back to feeling better again. So if you're feeling up for it, you can push through an experience like that. If you're not feeling up for it, of course, never put any pressure on yourself. There's so much pressure in the world these days with so many things. We want practices that are taking away the pressure. This is why fasting can move in that direction in such a powerful way. Less pressure to have to cook more things and clean more things. More time to get other things done. And that's really killing two birds with one stone then, right? While we're doing these other things, hopefully reducing stress and utilizing the energy storage that we want. That we want to rid ourselves of. To me, that's the most thoughtful process that I've been able to elucidate for approaching a weight process naturally. I don't have any problem. Someone says, I want to approach it unnaturally. I want to approach it naturally and unnaturally. I want to take every medicine and do these things. It's all fine as long as you're feeling okay. A lot more people than advertised, right? The airwaves flooded with GLP, commercials, and they jam all the side effects in, at the end as kind of an afterthought. A lot of people having a lot of side effects from these things, and so I think people can feel discouraged if you're not able to take something like that. Or many people take things like this and initially have a lot of good results, and then the things kind of, plateau. Plateau is a place that people often get to in so many different types of weight situations, and people get very discouraged by it. And so I want to be very encouraging to people about any situation that you're in. If you're in a mindset of saying, oh, I'm in a plateau, if I'm in a space, okay, you're in a mindset to be observing it. That in and of itself is an extremely positive place. Fasting is a path that offers enough power to blast through a plateau if you train yourself thoughtfully and gently to do it over time. Ease into it. Let the body strengthen. Fasting is a strength. Fasting is a strength of the metabolism. And as you start out, it can be harder to do. That's why I say start in the easiest place. You have to walk before you can run. You need to be able to fast for a tiny bit before you try to fast longer. No reason to have to rush or push it. Never a reason to stress. I share a quote with you. A Vince Lombardi quote I came across. Okay, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. So I liked this quote, seeing it, but for my purposes here, I thought, you know what, this is even too intense. I always like the saying, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And perfect is something, yes, I agree with this, usually not attainable, pretty much never attainable, striving after it. So the way I tone this down, but excellence is pretty good. So I say, what if our modified quote was, excellence is rarely even attainable, right? But if we chase excellence, maybe it will just be good enough. Because to me, good enough is like what I often am striving for. And to me, it's like it's a zone that is a lot more thoughtful, where the pressure is like really taken off. Like we certainly don't have to be perfect. We don't even have to be excellent. Like excellence though is a good idea. I'm very in favor of excellence. But like good enough, if we get it good enough, like isn't that good enough? You know, I say it is. So thinking about excellence, moving toward excellence, I really do like that thought. Arriving at a place that is good enough, pretty much anything that happens, we can say, you know, this is good enough. Whatever happens, because we can learn and grow from it. Even if things didn't turn out the way we wanted, we can learn and grow from it and move forward in a healthier and more thoughtful and knowledgeable space because of it. So that will be my goal for the week. What is your goal for the week? Let me know in the comments. My goal, moving toward excellence. Yes, trying to be content with however that pans out. We'll say it'll be good enough. We'll learn from the experience. I'm working specifically, I've got my Dr. Z method. If you or someone that you care about have type 2 diabetes, send them over to Dr. Z method. I'm putting that on the drzmethod.com. Put it in the chat. I am working on launching this specific program for diabetes. Going to be very good. And if you have people that also that it comes up in conversation, say they're just trying to lose weight, send them to simplefasting.com. Have them run through the lose weight for free process. Kind of work through the whole videos. And say join us live. I'll be back next Sunday. And we'll keep a thoughtful space going. Let me know questions or thoughts you have during the week. And I will look forward to seeing you back here next week. Have a great week.